Kyle found something much more important.
Batteries?
Indeed, it was the corpse of Harry, a friend
Who's
that had
Harry?
gone missing years.
A key! But to what? That's what we'll be figuring out today on Kyle is Famous. I already have it open to the screen. Yes, I know that there's a key that we have found. I want to figure out what it goes to. So, let's play. The first decision of the morning, made wisely. Exit the bed. We'll go sit at the desk, check in desk drawer, a small key.
Kyle grabbed the small key he kept in his desk.
Check in desk drawer. Let's grab a flashlight too.
Kyle grabbed the flashlight, but after jiggling the switch, he found it was out of batteries.
Okay. Open the closet. Oh, it was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Inspect rusty locker.
Kyle knelt down and inspected the old, rusty container that had been in his closet for ages. It was locked, but had a blade-shaped slot in the top.
All right, open the closet. We'll choose an outfit.
Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important.
Sure, a
Kyle
slick suit.
miraculously.
Whatever. So, let's check the locked door.
Kyle walked over to the straight.
The key doesn't belong in there. We'll leave the apartment. We'll go visit the tech store and see if we can. No. Can we visit
Kyle
Gabby and
approached
ask
his downstairs
for
neighbor's door and knocked.
some
A middle-aged
batteries?
woman named Gabby answered the door.
No, we'll consider.
Kyle unhinged his jaw and swallowed Gabby whole.
Perfect.
Job done. Kyle returned to the middle of the street.
That way we don't pass out from from hunger. Return to bedroom. Sit at desk. Check desk drawers. It's showtime.
Kyle hurried. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity.
Hi, Rachel.
Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. After other mild exchanges of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle.
Introduce Rachel.
Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. In response, Kyle collapsed on the floor.
Why did he collapse on the floor?
From a combination of stressful preparation and not eating anything, Kyle had passed.
All right.
Nobody-
Yep. He's starved. Small key.
Kyle grabbed.
Check dress drawers. Assorted change.
Kyle scooped up the change scattered around the desk drawer.
Gavin.
Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for...
Resources.
Kyle began to comb through the damp piles of filth and mold on his floor in search of helpful items.
Okay, we still have 12 hours.
After finding and eating a few bits of crumbs and old cheese, Kyle found something much more important.
Batteries.
Indeed, it was the corpse of Harry, a friend
Who's
that had
Harry?
gone missing years ago while at Kyle's house. Kyle was glad to see him again, but was unsure of whether to interrupt such an important day with Harry business.
I just want to figure out where this key goes.
Kyle decided Harry could wait another day and quietly folded a pile of filth back on top of him.
Okay, I just want to figure out what this key goes to. Open the closet. Yeah, we definitely...
Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit.
Jeans and swimming top.
Kyle decided on a fashion-forward, casual style. He could barely see out of the goggles.
Move to kitchen. Check pantry.
Kyle wanted to access the pantry, but found it was locked with a small keyhole.
Unlock with the small key. Boom shakalaka. Dang it, it's showtime!
Kyle hurried to the set.
Alright, I'm assuming we're gonna pass out again. So, I will now use the small key to get into the pantry.
Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction.
I will produce the CD.
As Rachel started to reply, Kyle clamped his hand over her mouth. Hush, he said. I need to do something before we can continue.
What?
Kyle removed the CD he had brought to the interview and placed it in a nearby player deck.
Are we gonna have a dance party?
The sound system kicked into action, piping Kyle's music throughout the studio.
It's like polka or like oompa music.
Rachel briefly listened, a blank expression on her face. Smiling, Kyle closed his eyes and enjoyed the music for a moment. Then, he spoke.
Hey.
All right, now everything's ready. Let's begin. In a shock, Kyle realized he had never bothered to prepare any notes for the interview.
Okay.
Knowing he had the eyes of millions upon him, Kyle came up with a solution quickly.
Okay, we're gonna blame Rachel.
Rachel, I need to be honest. You're not terribly interesting, and I could not think of what I should ask you. In fact, continued Kyle, I would far rather interview a fish than I would you.
What?
And furthermore, said Kyle, I'm not sure I could tell the difference between a you and a fish.
A you and a fish.
Kyle leaned back in his chair and desperately hoped the blame had been shifted adequately. Rachel glowered at Kyle.
Okay.
Kyle glowered back.
I understand.
Rachel left the studio. Kyle no longer had a guest and spent the next 42 minutes staring at the camera silently.
Oh no, he should have played more of that oompa music. Kyle prepared by blaming others. Okay. Well,
Kyle
okay, back to desk. Back to room. Exit to hallway. Move to kitchen. Check pantry.
Kyle wanted to
Unlock with
The pantry door lock creaked as if it hadn't moved for years, but eventually opened.
Look in pantry.
Instead of an assortment of canned goods and grains, Kyle's pantry stored his massive amount of bottled lard.
We'll chug a bottle.
Kyle voraciously grabbed the closest bottle, snapped the neck against the wall, and sucked out all of the fat within a minute.
Sure.
Kyle
Let's go
wildly
again.
sucked down another bottle. He felt very sick.
Keep going.
Kyle's vomit and the lard were mixing in a way to make it hard to tell which was which.
Finish off the pantry.
As Kyle finished the last bottle of lard, he felt a wave of accomplishment come over him.
That's what was in... That's what the key went to. Got it.
Kyle opened the fridge, intending to find something to eat.
Eat condiments.
Kyle started to grab condiments from the fridge, squirting them into his mouth with both hands. Ketchup, horseradish, and mayonnaise entered Kyle's mouth at a rate that soon overwhelmed his ability to swallow. Kyle spewed the excess condiment slurry across the kitchen, covering the furniture and walls.
Sick. Cool.
Kyle continued until all of the condiments had been emptied.
And that's all we have time for. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. We had bad food and regular food.
Kyle hurried
Condiments
to the
count
set.
as regular food.
Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle vomited all of the horrible things he had eaten earlier onto the floor.
Sick.
Rachel
Thought that
looked
was
at
coming.
Kyle, concerned, gave a couple coughs, and decided to play it cool and keep the show running.
Awesome.
Kyle stopped, then vomited again, then continued with a shaky voice. Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and
not
waved at the
prepare.
camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. So we might as well dive right in, said
I don't
Kyle.
sound good.
I'm very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile.
I bet you are.
In a shock, Kyle realized he had never bothered to prepare any notes for the interview. Knowing he had the eyes of millions upon him, Kyle came up with a solution quickly.
We're gonna run away.
Kyle ejected from his seat and ran out of the studio as quickly
I think
as
it's
possible.
understandable seeing that start.
After it became apparent that Kyle was not coming back, the producer ended the episode and everyone went home.
Kyle prepared by running away. Alright, my goal was to figure out what happened to the key. I now need to know Harry, Harry.
Indeed, it was the corpse of Harry, a friend that had gone missing years ago while at Kyle's house.
Yeah, wondered what
Kyle
happened
was
to that
glad
guy.
to see him again, but was unsure of whether to interrupt such an important day with Harry business.
Yeah, let's do that.
Kyle hoisted Harry onto his shoulder and took him outside. Kyle began dragging Harry's body down the street, drawing many, many stares.
Thick.
Kyle knew exactly where he needed to take Harry's corpse, on a lovely playdate, just the two of them.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Kyle and Harry started at the arcade. Kyle used Harry's arms to operate the joysticks and push buttons.
Oh, good.
After 5 or 6 different games, the two friends had enough tickets for a single candy bar. They took their prize to the local park for eating.
Oh, at least we're gonna eat this time.
Kyle tried to feed some of the chocolate bar to Harry, but Harry seemed to not have an appetite.
Yeah, probably not.
After eating, Kyle noticed a nearby playground. He dragged Harry over. Kyle tried to figure out a way to swing Harry onto the swing set, but, lacking the ability to grip, Harry kept falling out.
Yeah, I imagine.
Instead,
There's no time
Kyle started to lug Harry to
anymore.
the top of the slide and shove him down time and time again. Finally, Kyle took Harry to the movies to see as many popular films as their pocket change allowed. Kyle quickly found that he had no pocket change, so he searched through Harry's pockets until he found his wallet.
Cool.
Kyle bought 2 tickets to A Love Romance. After getting inside, Kyle left Harry to go find a restroom.
Did
By
he?
the time Kyle had finished using the restroom, he had forgotten that he brought Harry along.
Seriously?
Kyle watched A Love Romance by himself. Harry's corpse sat on a bench in the atrium.
Cool.
While Kyle was in the movie, a beautiful thing happened.
Another zombie came by and they fell in love?
Harry's corpse, imbued with the power of friendship and love, was reanimated.
Well, I just didn't see that one coming.
Harry's old, rotten flesh gained color and life. His fingernails regrew. His missing eye came back. By the time the movie was over, Harry was able to greet Kyle with a large, friendly hug as his old self.
Oh.
Kyle was confused, but delighted to have his long-lost friend meet him on his way out of the theater. The two made plans to get drinks together and parted ways for the day.
Guys, this is an adorable ending. I like this one.
Kyle returned home, forgetting about the interview with Rachel.
Well, whatever, that's fine. Kyle helped a friend. Now that's a way to tell a story. I don't care about Rachel at all. She can go suck it. We found where our key went, which was the important thing. Ate a ton of lard, IRL, me, every day. And brought one of our friends back to life. I'm very curious how he died. In our apartment. Over a year prior. But you know, hopefully that opens up some options for us next time to hang out, or when we scavenge. Hopefully we won't find Harry's corpse again, because he'll, you know, have been reanimated. But I guess we'll see next time that we play. So, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a like. Comment below if you're enjoying this, like, new Kyle is Famous sort of, like, renaissance that I'm kind of having with this game. I know I played it, like, once last month. Now. Well, it's not really a renaissance, but I know that I haven't really seen Kyle is Famous since, actually 2020, maybe? Subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you're not new and just haven't subscribed yet, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!